Another approach that you can take to help your students understand how thinking like a mathematician is different is you can work with a teacher from a different discipline to come up with some kind of thematic unit where you explore different facets of the same topic. So this is something that's very familiar to elementary students and teachers who do thematic units, but not so much in high school. So um, Moji, a researcher, talked about how she went into a classroom and used a task to do this. So she asked students to analyze data to test a mother's advice that two young women wash their hands for at least 15 seconds to reduce bacterial growth. So from this task, students had to do two different things. One was to write a scientific claim, a piece of scientific writing. So here they would have to be very precise, write about the different steps they had taken, and basically use a scientific approach to write about their findings, thinking through the hypothesis and so forth. And for the other writing piece, she took a more literary approach. Why should you listen to your mom? Is mom always right? So then this became more about the students' relationships with their mothers. And here in English class, the teacher emphasized uh, language, right? The use of language, the playfulness of language, using figurative language, and writing using transition words and so forth. So think about how you can do that with math. So since many of your students have to take online courses, and next semester they'll be taking, ninth graders will be taking health class, while 10th graders will be continuing on history class, you can also spend some time looking through the online courses to see what topics they will be tackling next. Like for health class, the students will have to be learning about how to keep their heart healthy. So think about how you can take a topic and turn it into some kind of math task, like perhaps looking at the topic on heart health and finding a graph, for example, in a newspaper or a magazine that talks about the relationship between exercise and health, and use that to uh, make students realize that sometimes when they put on the mathematician's hat, they have to look at the same data in a different manner. So we are going to end today's PD with by giving you some time to go through the strategy list again and to perhaps go through the online courses for your students to think about what you can use tomorrow and what you can use next semester. You are welcome to stay at your seat or work with the colleagues at your desks, at your tables, and I will be here to answer any questions that you might have. Also, at the front of this table, I have the resources that I have been using. I tried not to talk too much about the research, but everything I've talked about today is based on the work of Zygoris Ko and Moji and several other colleagues that are quite highly regarded in literacy. Thank you for your time today.